Hey, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with our wonderful and talented Ag Director, Bridgette Readel. We're missing somebody again today, Bridgette.
Yeah, I know. But I heard there's a storm brewing.
Are we allowed to say?
I think we just get to say the results of that storm. And that is, there's a new baby storm, and so Justin's going to be busy for a while.
He'll be out for a couple of weeks, so congratulations to Justin and his wonderful wife on their first baby boy. Yeah. So maybe he'll be...
Well, this is exciting for them because now, I mean, apparently Justin thought you actually sleep when you have kids. He's got a little to learn. I hope he's well rested.
That's why we gave him a couple of weeks off, because he's going to need it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, a big shout out and congratulations to Justin on his first baby boy. We've got some rain that's moving through parts of the valley and into Lakes country as well. Some scattered showers, and there's even been a few embedded rumbles of thunder. Nothing severe and nothing really widespread, and no heavy rainfall either. But this is a lot of cold air aloft, and just a little bit of sunshine is enough to brew a few thunder showers. And we can expect that, it looks like, for about the next 4 hours or so. And as the sun starts to starts to set, we'll start to see those showers diminish. But we got some cold weather in the forecast. In fact, we could see our first few flakes of snow fly through the area as we head into Friday. Some really chilly air. And this is storm number 1 of this year's LRC cycle. And we'll be kind of diving a little bit more into that here coming up, not only today, but also in the next couple of weeks or so as well, because we're about a week into the LRC cycle. And again, if you're just joining us and you're not familiar with what is the LRC cycle, it's a LESAC recurring cycle. It's a new way to forecast, or a newer way to forecast long-term weather patterns. And a good example, the LRC was used to forecast Hurricane Ian back in March. And so it's an incredible way to forecast. And last LRC cycle, when it started last fall, we had a very stormy pattern, and it's been pretty quiet and we're only a week in, but even the rest of the month looks pretty quiet as well. Starting to see some signs of change towards the end of the month, and let's hope that holds through, because we're going to be mostly done with harvest by then, so then we can take on the precip, and we don't want a dry LRC cycle going through November, because then that would expand our drought conditions going into next summer, and that would not be good.
No, I'm not quite ready to have to face that yet. But what I am ready for is ABC News. We're going to listen to them. Then we're going to come back and talk more about weather, the LRC, and it's National Farmer Day. And also, we have a guest. So we'll do that and visit with everyone who's listening just shortly.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. More sophisticated weapons will soon be heading to Ukraine from some Western countries. ABC's Tom Rivers has more from the foreign desk on the request that Volodymyr Zelensky has made to NATO.
Given this week's Russian missile attacks on Ukrainian cities, President Zelensky is asking now for more and better air defense systems. In Brussels, NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg says
allies have provided air defense, but we need even more. We need different types of air defense, short range, long range air defense systems to take ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, drones, different systems for different tasks.
The U.S. and Germany both signaling they'll contribute to this latest wish list. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
President Biden telling CNN he won't meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin unless the Ukrainians are there, and that he won't announce yet whether he's running for re-election. He will say if his last opponent runs,
I believe I can beat Donald Trump again.
A lot of Republicans continue standing by Georgia's Senate candidate Herschel Walker, who's running on an anti-abortion platform, while he continues to deny that he paid for a girlfriend's abortion 13 years ago. ABC's Lindsay Davis sat down for an exclusive interview with Walker this week and says
ABC News has not independently confirmed the woman's account, but the Daily Beast and New York Times report that she showed them a receipt from the abortion clinic, a $700 check she says is from Walker, and a get well card she says he sent her after the abortion. Overnight, the Washington Post reported that she claimed she had to press Walker to pay for the abortion, saying, "Both of us did this. We both know how babies are made."
In Philadelphia, 3 police officers were shot and wounded while serving a warrant early this morning. Police shot and wounded the suspect, who died in the hospital a short time ago. The FDA has authorized updated COVID booster shots for kids as young as age 5. There hasn't been a big rush to get the shots by anyone so far, but health officials are urging people to get it ahead of the holidays. You're listening to ABC News.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
You can always count on Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Always crisp, always easy drinking, always just right. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment since 1903. Welcome to the High Life. ...2019 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
Think pink and help make a difference, because during Puckledge and Valley City's Why Pink event, we're donating $100 for every vehicle sold and $10 for every service repair order. Help us reach our goal of $10,000 donated to the JRMC Cancer Center and Sanford Roger Maris Cancer Center. So think pink and help make a difference as we raise $10,000 during our Why Pink event at Puckledge Chevrolet Buick GMC in Valley City.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with our wonderful and talented Ag Director, Bridgette Readel. So, Bridgette, we were talking briefly before we went to break about the LRC. And so this is signature, I'll call it a signature one in the LRC cycle, with a big upper low, which is just camped out, or is going to be camped out over the northern Great Lakes for about 4 to 5 days. And so that's going to be responsible for bringing us wind, below normal temperatures, and hit and miss light showers, but mainly a kind of a drier pattern, but colder and windier. And so this same system will cycle back through probably a couple more times during the winter. And as it does, each time it comes through, obviously it's probably going to be colder in each separate cycle. And can you imagine cold and the winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour each time this comes through each cycle during the winter? And we'll probably have snow on the ground on top of that. So that could be a very interesting part of the LRC cycle coming up. So we'll see what happens then as we head into the rest of the month in November, because it looks like a pretty kind of a progressive pattern where we're going to go with this pattern and then kind of flow off the Pacific, which normally would lead to stormier conditions. So we'll wait and see how that pans out. It's not what the models are forecasting now. It's what actually happens over the next 3 to 6 weeks, which will determine what the rest of the winter, spring, and even into next summer will look like.
Okay, there's a lot riding on this discussion. And once we start to really see how it sets up and what we can share with people, it's going to matter in a lot of ways. It's not just about planning your favorite summer event. It's thinking ahead about what you might be doing on the farm as far as some of your crop rotation, or, am I going to have to face a year with a lot more bugs or disease? Those are things that come to mind right away for me.
Or if we can let our farmers and ranchers know, hey, let's hope this doesn't happen, but hey, this LRC cycle is extremely dry. Unfortunately, this means a very dry spring, and drought conditions will expand into the summer. Let's hope that's not the case, but at least we can give a heads up to our agriculture community and then let them know, which is a huge tool to have for sure.
Absolutely it is. And that, it's important to bring this up today, Dean, because it happens to be National Farmer Day. There's one for everything. Thank you, Hallmark, for creating so many different days for us all. But I have seen several posts about that it is National Farmer Day, and how fitting to be going on right now during the midst of our harvest in this area. It
is, and we've got a perfect guest for that coming up today too. And I was reading an article this morning about, and it was an interesting article to read because, again, growing up in the city, a lot of times you don't really connect farm life with what it's actually really like. And I was reading this article this morning. It was very interesting about the difference. Like, a lot of people think, when you think farmer, what do you think? You think
guys.
You can think guys. You don't think female farmers. And I was astonished, really. And maybe I shouldn't be, but I was astonished at the percentage of female farmers. It's a lot more than I think the average person would think.
And especially globally. On a global basis, women are generally more in charge of the agrarian decisions than they are just even here in the United States. But I know an awful lot of farm operations where wives are completely involved. Maybe she's the one making all the decisions when it comes to marketing grain or buying crop inputs. Oftentimes we're told that women are maybe better at making those grain buying decisions. They're good with money and they have less emotion tied to the grain, and they're able to make the sale, even forward contract, in a favorable manner. In other cases, they are just as busy operating equipment. I mean, there's times where I go home to my family farm and my sister-in-laws and all the kids, everybody's in the field running combines, grain carts, trucks, whatever needs to be done. And my favorite story was when I was an intern in college working for, at the time, it was Dow AgroSciences, and I was sent to a farm. A farmer wanted to look at a field with us because he wasn't completely happy with the product performance. So I got there and I walked into the farm shop, and I didn't even get a chance to introduce myself. And the farmer said, "Hey, my wife's in the house." I said, "Great. Is she going to the field with me?" And he said, "No, I thought you were the Avon lady." So got that out of the way real quick. I was there to look at his field. But it was a good learning experience for all of us.
Oh, wow. I don't know what to say on that. Oh, my goodness. I'm rarely rendered speechless. This might be one of the few times. Oh, love it.
Dean sees me in the office enough to know I am nowhere near the Avon lady.
Yeah, no kidding. That's for sure. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So we have a guest coming up here. We've got a quick break coming up in about a minute, and we have a guest coming in. Who's our guest today, Bridgette?
Dr. Magan Lewis. She's originally from Hankinson, North Dakota. Okay. Her dad was a well-known science instructor in that area. She's a North Dakota State University grad, and she's in fact going to be honored on Friday for her work in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and the work she does to be a leader for women in those fields. So we're going to visit about her after we get a chance to hear this news update, and then we'll come back with Dr. Magan Lewis.
Download the app, sign up, and say bye-bye, bugs. Tommy's Express Car Wash is that easy. Tommy's offers a cleaner car wash and an overall better experience. Wash your car as often as needed. And the best part, after 3 washes, it pays for itself, and you can use it at all 3 other FM locations. Download the app, pre-buy, and skip the line. Or stop by one of their 3 locally owned Tommy's Express Car Wash locations. Tommy's Express Car Wash. Love your ride.
Keep in mind that color trends are changing. Don't know which colors coordinate? Your local Hirschfield store has the state-of-the-art color matching equipment to help you with your remodel project, and they've stocked up on the top paint products in the market. The experienced team at Hirschfield's is offering new ideas for your home and office, so stop in and check out the color selection of the year. Hirschfield's, proudly serving brave DIY customers and contractors for over 128 years. Stop in or go to Hirschfields.com today.
Did you know that periodontal disease is the #1 health problem in small animal patients? Hello, I'm Dr. Calderwood, a veterinary dental practitioner at Prairie Winds Veterinary Center. By 2 years of age, 80% of dogs and 70% of cats have some form of periodontal disease. If you notice a change in your pet's playful habits, breath, or facial swelling, there's a chance that your pet is suffering from mouth pain. Prairie Winds Veterinary Center can help. Call us at 701-356-5600 or learn more at prairiewindsvet.com.
Fresh-made, tasty lunch for only $8. We're talking about lunch at O'Kelly's. O'Kelly's has 7 lunch specials, including a Cuban with fries, a chicken Caesar salad, pork belly tacos, or a burrito bowl. Each one fresh and delicious for only $8 any weekday at O'Kelly's on Main. And if you get the O'Kelly's Lunch Punch card, after you buy the 7th lunch, your 8th lunch is free. That's right, a free lunch. O'Kelly's for an $8 lunch, and get the 8th one free with the Lunch Punch card. O'Kelly's, delicious food, priced right. I-29 in Maine in Fargo.
You see trucks hauling sugar beets up and down roads in the Red River Valley during sugar beet harvest season. It takes all of us to ensure it's a safe harvest for all. Vivig Oil and Propane is a name you've grown to trust over their 60-plus years of providing all of your propane, farming fuel, and lubricant requirements. Wishing you a safe harvest are your friends at Vivig Oil and Propane. Online at vivigoil.com.
The Jay Thomas Show.
You got to tell your story. Hang on, callers. You got to hear this one.
He's a regular listener, and I know I'm very good friends with he and his wife, but his wife for years thought the first line in his Summer of 69 song
Summer of 69,
is, yeah, I had my first real sex dream.
She's going to kill you, man.
The Jay Thomas Show, weekday afternoons at 2 here on WDAY.
And welcome back. We are so glad that you have indeed joined us. I'm Bridgette Readel, Ag Director here for WDAY Radio, and you are listening to Weather and Ag in Focus. I have with me today Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. Good wave, Dean. I got it. And so for those of you who are watching us live stream on Facebook or on Acres TV, you can see us and you can hear us when we talk with our guest today, Dr. Magan Lewis. Dr. Lewis is originally from Hankinson, North Dakota. For those of you who want to ask her questions as our discussion progresses, you can reach us at 701-293-9000. Hello, my friend Magan. How are you?
Hi, I am so excited to hear your voice and be here today, so thank you.
This is awesome. I get to see your shining face on Friday when you are going to have the honors at NDSU, and I'm looking forward to being able to congratulate you there. And Magan, how'd you get to this point where you're on the radio today and you're going to be at NDSU as a focal point on Friday?
Yeah, no, it's truly a great honor and opportunity. I'm probably most excited to get back to the state of North Dakota and go Bison. It's around... Yeah, no, it's really around giving back and showing the students and future generation, you know, if they can see it, they can be it, and give them the passion and drive and inspiration just to go get it and chase their dreams, and then no dream is too big. I'm also excited to talk with the professors and department heads and different innovation entrepreneurs across the state of North Dakota, because I think it's really important that we scale up and we start breaking down those silos and really start diving into collaboration with an external and internal focused mindset. So I'm excited just to give back to the students, meet new faces, build new connections, and most importantly, start building that Bison pipeline by doing some commercials and other interviews too to help recruit for our future Bison.
And Magan, I'll tell you what, coming from the meteorology field, when I first started in the business many years ago, won't say how many years ago, there wasn't many females that were in the science industry in the meteorology field as well. But boy, has that changed, and it's changed a lot over the last just 10 to 15 years. And I think that's fantastic. And I'm sure STEM had a lot to do with that as well.
Oh, yes. No, it's changed, but I still feel we have a long ways to go in agriculture, and that's the exciting thing about it. You know, to help with that change, my husband and I started the Dr. Magan Scholarship at NDSU to give females just the inspiration to dive into science or STEM or any type of field they would like, and to help give them a little boost, a financial boost, inspirational boost to say, hey, you got this, go get it. But definitely it's a long ways, but we're getting so much better. It's exciting, especially in my current company. I see powerhouse trailblazer female leaders that are just blazing their own path and truly making a difference. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to really show individuals that they can just go get it and to chase their dreams. I'm pretty pumped about it, especially in agriculture, giving back to our farmers and our students and the community in general.
And what kind of change have you seen, let's say, over the last 10 years making it in the agriculture industry with females?
Oh, you're going to get the raw and transparent Megan today. This is going to be fantastic. And Bridgette's probably smiling and recognizing.
Oh, she is,
Yeah.
ear to ear.
No. When I started, I've been in the seed industry for over 10 years. And prior to Bayer Crop Science, I was at Corteva. And I remember my very first job, my PhD's in plant breeding and genetics. And I started out as a plant breeder. I recognized then that I was one of two, the female breeders in a room of hundreds, right? And then, I kind of got that imposter syndrome a little bit too, and I fell into this trap of, okay, they're all walking fields. I can do the same thing. I got this. And I learned a lot of life lessons early on. And this is a raw and transparent moment, but I remember vividly walking a cornfield, an irrigated field near Grand Forks, North Dakota. I was about 7, 8 months pregnant at the time. And I thought I had to be like one of the guys and fit in. And long story short, my foot got stuck in the irrigation track. And I ended up falling on my stomach and going to the hospital. And hearing my daughter's heartbeat was the most precious sound that I could hear in that moment. But it also was a reflection of life is short and I need to be me. And that was the journey of, hey, that was 2012 and just me pausing and saying, no, in order to be my best version, I have to bring what Megan brings to the table. I'm a different leader. I'm a different scientist. I'm a different breeder. I interact with farmers differently than most. But I embrace my difference, and I also embrace who I am. And I can tell you today that that's helped blaze the path of where I'm going and where I'm going to go in the future. So you have to be yourself, and you have to be your best version, and you have to know your limits.
And I love your energy. Okay, your energy is through the roof. I love it. Absolutely.
I have to do a video call with y'all next time. I'm just jumping in between fields, and I have my Bayer hat on. And I told Bridget, I said, I have to find service. I'm not going to promise a video service today, but I will find service for a phone call.
Dean, if you think she's enthusiastic on the phone, wait till you see her in person.
Wow.
It's even better. And I know Megan.
Yes.
So,
yeah, you need to come on Friday. Come on Friday. I will buy your ticket, my friend. Seriously.
Awesome.
Oh, I am going. And so we'll get to Friday as we progress through our discussion today. But as a kid who grew up in the Hankinson, North Dakota area, science was a huge part of your life. And then that led to you having your own life-size statue. Want to tell us about that?
Yeah, no, definitely. So for those that don't know me listening in, I grew up in my dad's science lab. Both my parents were teachers and community trailblazers. And my brother and I were so grateful for the opportunity just to be surrounded by education and agriculture. And so I've always had a passion for science. I saw the impact that my parents had on the community, and then also my dad nationwide for being the top science teacher of the world in 2005. And long story short, I just took it back and I recognized some key principles. My parents taught me some very sound lessons. Number one, treat the janitor the same way that you would treat a superintendent, and then just living by that principle, making every interaction count. And number two, you never can dream too big, and just to go get it. So, I went through school. I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in agriculture, plant science. What most don't know, and this would be a fun next conversation, I also did major in music. I'm an opera singer and percussionist. But I went through school, and I challenge the status quo. Some call me a fireball, and that's totally okay. I will own that title. But definitely, it's about challenging the status quo and standing up for what you believe is right. So I started out as a scientist, But I recognized in 2013 in the industry that I was even called, the black sheep of scientists. Like, Megan, you're different. You really care about people. You should just be a scientist. And yeah, that's really not me. So, I chose the path of people leadership in 2013. And that's where the journey just began. And my family and I, we've had 6 company relocations, both across the United States. We also had a stint 2 hours south of Budapest, Hungary, where I had the opportunity to lead research in commercial and corn and sunflower. Fantastic. But getting back to the great motherland, we actually flew into Fargo, North Dakota on the way back. Just fun story, because that's where my family's still around. But, just the biggest thing, there's a point to the story. Don't worry, Bridgette, I'm getting there. But hear me out. You have to jump outside your comfort zone. If I said no to one of those 6 relocations, if I said no to going and loading my family up and living overseas, putting our stuff on a boat, I don't know if I would be where I'm at today. So the biggest message I can give to all the listeners and the viewers is take a chance, say yes. Say yes to one thing outside your comfort zone every single year, and magic will happen when you just embrace new adventure. You're adaptable, you're flexible. And so where I'm going with this is in 2019, I received the honor of being one of 120 women recognized around the world for being a STEM trailblazer. I was excited. I didn't know I was getting a life-size orange Dr. Megan statue. It looks like the butter statues at the state fairs. It's pretty fantastic. But I walked into this experience, and I remember sitting down at the table, and I was like, yeah, we were talking social media. Here's this, I learned my lesson, humility, but here we go. I was like, yeah, they're like, do you have LinkedIn? I said, absolutely, I have LinkedIn. I got 30 likes on a post. I was pretty pumped. And I was sitting next to the Amazon influencer who has like over 2 million followers. And she's like, oh, that's cute. And I said, whoa, and I recognized the caliber of these amazing women next to me. I met NASA engineers. I met deputy secretaries of ag. I met a ton of other fields, from just even wildlife biologists. It was amazing. It was an energy booster. And then Lida Hill said, you're going to get a scan, and we're going to take a life-size scan, and you're going to have your own life-size statue. And I didn't realize how impactful a statue could actually be. It was the largest exhibit of women's statues in the world ever at one point in time, and now it's a traveling exhibit. So the orange Dr. Megan has been in the Smithsonian Castle, where, fun fact, my brother, who's an NDSU professor, he took one of the North Dakota barley producers there to see Dr. Orange Megan live. That gave me goosebumps just saying that, because we're giving back to the great state of North Dakota. And, now it's at Dallas, Texas. So if you're traveling to Dallas, Texas, and you're going to go to the Arboretum, because who doesn't want to look at plants? Plants are amazing. You can check out the Dr. Megan statue, take a selfie, and tell me what you think. I love the honesty. I have I've gotten so many messages about the statue from, I would say, children around the globe, really just traveling. But the best comment from my daughter, here we go. She goes, Mom, I never realized that one of your eyes is bigger than the other eye. She goes, it's a little bit creepy on the statue. And I said, you know what? I love feedback. Keep it coming. But no, it's a great honor. I'm proud to be one of 120. And it has lifted my brand. It has boosted my confidence, from being on CBS with actress Miranda Cosgrove to PBS shows to now featured on the Seed World magazine. I get goosebumps telling you, because it just didn't happen. It took being okay with challenging the status quo. It took, stepping outside my comfort zone, and most importantly, championing others and lifting others up along my journey. So I'm just excited. You could probably tell.
Man, I'm telling you. Well, Megan, I've got a ton of questions for you, but first we have to take a break. You could stay with us for another segment, right?
Oh, you can have me all day. I love talking to Bridgette.
Awesome.
So absolutely.
Awesome. We're going to take a quick break. If you have any questions for Megan, give us a call, 701-293-9000, 701-293-9000, or you can reach out to us on email, weather@flagfamily.com or ag@flagfamily.com. We'll have more with Megan coming up after the break.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
It's Jay and Ronnie from the Coffee Club, and we're here to tell you the original My Slippers are almost completely sold out. My Slippers has a brand new all-season slippers, slides, and sandals for as low as $29.98.
This is a limited time offer, so go to mypillow.com, use promo code WDAY, and get all new footwear for as low as $29.98. All season slippers are made with exclusive 4-layer design that you won't find in any other slipper.
They are finished with a breathable fabric so you can wear them all year round. Slides and sandals are made with patented impact gel, making them ultra comfortable and extremely durable, guaranteed. They will make the most comfortable footwear you'll ever wear.
So just go to mypillow.com or call the number on the screen and get your very own all-season slipper, slides, and sandals as low as $29.98 with promo code WDAY. This is an introductory offer, so it won't last long. Order now. Call 800-875-0644.
Think pink and help make a difference, because during Puckledge and Valley City's Why Pink event, we're donating $100 for every vehicle sold and $10 for every service repair order. Help us reach our goal of $10,000 donated to the JRMC Cancer Center and Sanford Roger Maris Cancer Center. So think pink and help make a difference as we raise $10,000 during our Why Pink event at Puckledge Chevrolet Buick GMC in Valley City.
Do you wonder why so many young people are identifying as transgender? Are you concerned with how this movement is impacting the next generation and our country? Do you want to engage on the transgender topic, but aren't sure where to begin or what to say? If you want answers to these questions and more, go to ndcan.org, ndcan.org right now, and join us in Bismarck on October 15th for North Dakota's first conference on gender. Become inspired and empowered to weigh in on the most significant cultural and political issue of our time. You'll hear from expert speakers such as Epic Times journalist Alex Newman, author of Crimes of the Educators, and former transgender Walt Heyer, who's been featured on Laura Ingraham, Glenn Beck, and Candace Owens. There is limited seating for this event, so go right now to ndcan.org. Again, that's ndcan.org to reserve your tickets today.
I'm Emma, and if I had it my way, I would be the only one on the road. I could drive at my own speed and not worry about stopping on the gravel road or seeing around the tall corn at the intersections. But I am not the only one on the roads. And I know that more crashes happen during harvest season involving farm equipment than any other season, so I'm going to slow down, pay attention, wear my seatbelt, and be patient. This message is brought to you by the Barnesville FFA and Minnesota Towards Zero Deaths.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate it. And along with myself and Bridgette Readel, our Ag Director, we have Dr. Magan Lewis with us on the line as well. And boy, if you were tired going into this, you're not now. Oh my goodness, Magan, I love your energy. So do you do any other motivational speaking for any different company outside of ag or STEM? I mean, do you get other industries that reach out and say, you know, we need a little pick me up here with our company? Can you come and give a talk? So do you go outside of STEM and outside of ag for these any motivational speaking?
I do.
Okay.
I do, and I do it as a donation because Bridgette knows this pretty well. I'm all about making every interaction count, and how can we elevate others? So this is a fun story, actually. My friends are engineers, and engineers, I bow down to them, like calculus and understanding. And I was in plant sciences, and I have a ton of respect for them. And I got a phone call from the Society of Engineering, the SWE organization, and they're like, well, you're kind of like an honorary engineer. I said, I am? This is fantastic. And so I was able to lead the keynote for a room of women engineers that are just trailblazers and amazing leaders, and it was so energizing. I also do local, just different school events for teachers or kiddos or students, and all the fun stuff I do on the side too. So long story short, absolutely, Bridgette knows it's one of my passions, and any chance I get just to inspire somebody just to go get it, I jump on it, because that's what's going to make the world a better place, is when we can help unleash some of that creativity and innovation and just go get it. Absolutely. I'd be happy to come. Plus, I love visiting North Dakota. Let's be real.
Oh, Megan, we are so happy to have you whenever you come back home. And before you come back home, you're currently in Iowa, and I get to break the late breaking news on Dr. Magan Lewis of North Dakota.
Ooh.
She was recently appointed by the Iowa governor to be on the South Central STEM Advisory Board. This is brand new. It's a 3-year appointment. What are you going to be doing on that board, Megan?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Geez, Bridgette, I got goosebumps just reading it. It's really surreal. I am excited because this is going to take my STEM brand and my mission to the next level. This is going to be able to have impact across all the schools in Iowa and also represent agriculture. How important it is for our students to not only know what agriculture is, but what can agriculture be in the future, and how can we feed and help feed the growing population. And so my focus is going to be on agriculture technology, and it's going to be focused on STEM and making sure that we think about all schools, large and small, because I came from a small school, so that's near and dear to my heart, just to make sure we have all opportunities for kiddos across the state of Iowa. So I'm truly honored. I'm grateful. I actually hit the ground running next week with that appointment. So you should ask me next week, and then I'll tell you how it really is. But I'm still drinking the fun Kool-Aid right now, where I'm like, woohoo, you know. I was asked if I would ever consider politics as a career position, and so this will give me a good taste into seeing if that could be a future for Magan Lewis. So we'll see.
Now, Megan, is there any one particular instance that stands out of all your years of speaking with STEM students in agriculture? Is there any, like, was there one student that said, you know, I didn't think I could do this, and you motivated me to become what I am today? Is there any one particular instance that stands out?
So many. I'm lucky to say many, but there is one recent one that I want to highlight, because STEM can impact at all ages, and I think that's the core message. I'm going to give you a young and an older one. I was at, probably in 2020, I was giving a presentation, and it was my first speech where they advance the pictures for you, and I love to talk. So that was a challenge for me, because I had to get all of my information in that 30 seconds, and like, no, that photo says so much more. But I talked about my journey. I didn't just highlight the positives. I highlighted the unexpected results. So Bridgette knows me. I never say failures. Instead of failures, I tell my workers, my teammates, my direct reports, anybody around me, unexpected results, and what can we learn from those results. So I shared my story, you know, not all the rainbows, sprinkles, gumdrops. I shared the entire story, and this bold six-year-old came up to me with her mom, obviously, for parental consent, but came up to me and said, Dr. Megan, thank you. And that's all she said. She was super quiet. And I was like, oh, okay. And she said, thank you. And then she smiled, and I could tell she was really nervous. So I took her to a quieter spot with her mom, and I sat down. I was like, hey, tell me about yourself. and English was not her first language. And, my Spanish was really choppy, but I picked up some of it, and we kind of broke down the barriers like, hey, we're all human, and let's just, talk about it. Where can I help you? And so what that turned into is I called it the Dr. Megan Ice Cream Social, Ice Cream Connects, and I would take her and her mom to Culver's because that's very Midwestern, right? And we go to Culver's. She would get her vanilla ice cream with blue and white sprinkles on top, and I would get the delicious caramel sundae. But anyways, we sat there and we talked STEM and science. And what happened was, she felt like she didn't fit in because she was different. And she always thought different was bad. But she came to me, fast forward now 2 years, and I still stay in contact with her. I send her the coloring books. I send her any type of STEM thing I have. I try to visit her school. And they call me Dr. Joy at the school, by the way, from Inside Out. They think I'm like, Joy, right? So it's pretty fun. But what happened is, I got a thank you letter last year that just brought me to tears, dead serious. And it just says, thank you, Megan, for believing in me. Thank you, Megan, for showing me that I am valued and I do have a place in this world.
Wow.
And she's like, thank you for showing me that even though I'm, whatever age she is now, like she can do science and she can go get it. And her mom wrote me the sweetest thank you too. That just stands out because sometimes we just never know. My daughters taught me this, and yes, I'm still learning every day. And you just never know what somebody's going through, right? They may have a smile on their face, but you don't know what they're going through, so you always have to come in with kindness. And then also you have to say, hey, that active listening skill set, let's chat. What's really going on. And stranger back in 2020 to now, future scientist. She's going to be a trailblazer. I'm excited to watch her journey. That's a young example. A recent example with work, in not getting too detailed, was just an individual reached out and said, Megan, she has a PhD, by the way, but she's like, I just don't feel like I'm a scientist anymore. I have to take scientists off my LinkedIn profile. And I'm like, whoa. That is complete opposite. We need to broadcast that you're a rock star scientist. And just sitting down, talking, building out career plans, building out, fast forwarding this long one-on-one mentorship coaching session to, her getting a phenomenal job in an industry where she's thriving, in an area she never thought she would ever embrace in agriculture. And now she's just rocking it. So that goes back to making every interaction count because you just never know where that interaction is going to lead. And again, that's how we make the world a better place, and that's how we make it go round. So those are just two examples. I could probably give you about 50 more. But
well, that's part of how I met Megan, was just that interaction where you never say no. She asked me to present at a meeting internally, and by God, it worked. And it's been a great situation ever since for Megan and I to be able to talk to other women, but just anyone who's in ag and the things that we can do. So the folks who are listening, we are talking with Dr. Magan Lewis. She is with Bayer Crop Science, the equipment and automated field sensing lead. And Megan, in our last couple of moments here, I want to ask, number one, what are you going to be doing at NDSU on Friday at 10 o'clock? And number two, if people want to follow you, how can they do that?
Amazing. I hope they bring me questions. Bridgette knows I love feedback. I love questions. I love conversation with Starbucks coffee. But yeah, no, Friday is going to be so fun. So Friday is going to be a live and virtual keynote called Ignite Your Spark. I'll give you all a preview, a teaser, right? Yes, we're going to talk about the Megan journey. It's kind of fun to show photos and reminisce and talk about just stepping outside the comfort zone, but I'm tying my roots to North Dakota. I'm focusing on where it started, whether it was a farm or in my dad's science lab, and why it's important that we continue to really emphasize and embrace farming. And then I'm going to tie it into a leadership moment where, yes, I do have homework in my seminar, so bring a pen and paper, but reflection on how can we ignite your spark. So think about strengths, think about areas of opportunity, think about, different questions. I even will ask the audience, how many CEOs and CTOs exist into a company? And the point of it is to help individuals build their brand, help them activate their best version, and help them identify who they really are and who they want to be. And so it's just going to be a little bit of teaser. It's a fun exercise where you identify strengths, but we put the strengths into action, and then also show how I utilize this exercise to get to where I am as a global leader in agriculture industry today. And just to show them that, yes, I was you, you know, looking at the undergrads and graduate students, that I was you at one point. You can be me too. This is totally attainable. You need to just go get it and keep that drive and perseverance alive. And so that's just a quick preview. Friday's packed though, right? It's going to be commercial for NDSU and a keynote, and then also a luncheon for the department heads, professors. And if you're interested too, let me know, because I think we moved it to the ballroom because there's a lot of interest. So just send me a message. Again, I'm on LinkedIn. It's Magan, M-A-G-A-N, Lewis, L-E-W-I-S. My Instagram handle is Dr. Megan. It's just kind of a fun one that I relate to for my STEM K through 12 students that always like to dive into some of the fun experiments that I do on a daily basis. And then, yes, just reach out. Come to Bison Territory Memorial Union. Let's connect. Let's meet. Tell me that you heard me today, and let's sit down and have a cup of coffee and start strengthening that interaction. So yeah, Friday's going to be fun. It's going to be focused on leadership, focused on agriculture, and focused on how we can inspire our current bison, but also our future bison as they dive into agriculture and leadership. So let's go do it. Woohoo!
I'll tell you, after listening to you, Megan, the weather here is absolutely horrible. I want to go out and climb a mountain. I don't care what the weather's like. I mean, it's awesome.
She's awesome. She is awesome. Appreciate all your time today, Megan. Thank you so much for joining us and finding good cellular phone service. Folks, we're going to listen to American Ag Network, bring us up to speed on the markets, and then I'm going to look forward to seeing Megan on Friday. So thank you again, Dr. Magan Lewis of Bear Crop Science, but originally from right here in North Dakota. We'll visit with you all right after this.
Hi, this is Kevin Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer's Auction Company. Pfeiffer's upcoming October auctions include 313 acres of crop and pasture land in Mercer County, 480 acres of productive cropland in Divide County, 800 acres of cropland in Towner County near Candu and Rock Lake, 320 acres of cropland in Cass County, 160 acres of cropland in Bottineau County, and 475 acres of cropland in Clay County, Minnesota near Glen and Newland. View these auctions and many more land and equipment auctions at Pfeiffer's.com.
Did you know that periodontal disease is the #1 health problem in small animal patients? Hello, I'm Dr. Calderwood, a veterinary dental practitioner at Prairie Winds Veterinary Center. By 2 years of age, 80% of dogs and 70% of cats have some form of periodontal disease. If you notice a change in your pet's playful habits, breath, or facial swelling, there's a chance that your pet is suffering from mouth pain. Prairie Winds Veterinary Center can help. Call us at 701-356-5600 or learn more at prairiewindsvet.com.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Sunday at 6 a.m. At Creative Planning, we custom tailor your portfolio to help you achieve your ideal financial future. You'll see how our wealth managers work with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure your money is working as hard as it can for you. Your wealth deserves a second look. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Get more than just a great deal. Get the Luther Advantage. Every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 60-day, 2,500-mile warranty. Every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 5-day, 500-mile return policy. Use your Luther Advantage card and save on gas, or even a car wash at any Holiday Station store. Get the Luther Advantage at Luther Family Buick GMC, corner of I-29 and 32nd Avenue South in Fargo.
Soybeans higher, wheat under pressure, corn caught in the middle, and the aftermath of the October WDAY report. This is the American Ag Network of Jesse Allen with this closing market update. Well, on Wednesday, USDA released the October WDAY report as they reflected a mixture of working in the numbers into the balance sheet from the surprises seen in the September 30th stocks and small grain summary and the typical adjustments we get to demand numbers and quartered soybean yield in a monthly report. We did see some interesting changes to the balance sheet. Soybean yield dropped to 49.8 bushels per acre, according to USDA, the low range of trade guesses. USDA cut the corn yield to 171.9 bushels per acre, which was near expectations. Wheat numbers, ending stocks came in at the lowest level in 15 years, although wheat did find some pressure on the day on Wednesday. Overall, mixed bag, fairly neutral for quarter wheat with bullish tones for soybeans seen on the report. Final numbers from Wednesday. December corn unchanged, $6.93. March corn down a quarter penny at $7 even. Soybeans November 19 3/4 higher, $13.96. January beans up 17 at $14.05. Bean meal October up 11.40 at $421.80. Bean oil for October, that was up 19 points at 69.17. Chicago wheat for December down 18 3/4, 8.82 1/4. March down 18 at 8.99. Kansas City wheat December down 20 3/4 at 9.70. Spring wheat December down 16 1/4 at 9.69. March spring wheat, that was down 15 3/4 at 9.75 1/4. Live cattle October up 37 146.17. December down 12 at 148.45. Feeder cattle for October 42 higher, 175.50. November up 47 at 176.67. October lean hogs up 7.93.10. December 117 higher at 80.70. You're listening to the American Ag Network. Jesse A. reporting.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Again, want to thank you for joining us, and a big thank you to Dr. Magan Lewis. Holy cow, man. Whew. That's just, she would be a great, I can't imagine a better motivational speaker. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Wow. Whew. So
can you imagine that Megan and I were in booths together at career shows, recruiting students for internships and full-time positions. So you have to imagine we literally had lines of kids that wanted to talk to us.
Oh, I bet.
I credit Megan with pretty much all of that. But it was great. We had a great working relationship together.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So let's take a quick look at weather here. We do have some scattered showers, even some embedded rumbles of thunder popping up here in the valley into Lakes Country and out west. There's a scattered showers stretching from around Larimore to Valley City, Lisbon area, some scattered showers around the FM area, and now some scattered showers and thunder showers pushing into Lakes Country from just south of Detroit Lakes towards Fergus, and another batch up around Foston, Minnesota as well. And we'll continue to see these pop-up showers and thunder showers through sunset, and then we'll wind that down. The nation on a whole, the only unsettled weather is right here in the Dakotas, into Iowa, and into parts of Minnesota and Nebraska, where numerous wind advisories, high wind watches are in effect, fire watches due to the dry conditions and the high winds. So just a big wind maker storm is parked over the Great Lakes, and that's going to continue to just pull in those strong northwesterly winds. And as we alluded to earlier, this is one of the storms that will be in the LRC cycle. So when this pivots back and cycles back through, however long that is, whether that be 30, 40, 50 days from now, same thing, or something very similar, albeit think it will be colder. It will be colder, and if there's snow on the ground, we're going to have to be dealing with that as well. So just keep that in the back of your mind. This is storm number 1 of the LRC cycle, and it's a pretty big one. Not producing a lot of precip, but definitely producing a lot of wind and some much cooler weather. The nation, other than that as a whole, is very, very quiet, again, with the exception of that cold front that pressed through here. That's now pressing through the Great Lakes, and confirmed tornadoes this afternoon just south of Milwaukee. No reports of any damage from that yet, but that just occurred within the last half hour. So that storm system is bringing not only the cold weather here, but severe weather on its warm side. So quite a system for sure. And again, this will be fun to watch on the LRC as this continues to cycle back and around. Again, whether that be 30, 40, 50, 55 days, whatever, we'll know when the cycle resets, and then we'll be able to give an accurate forecast for the rest of the season. So it's nice I was worried because it was so quiet. I'm like, this first week of the LRC cycle it's a bummer. And then this comes along. So it's like, all right, good.
Well, now the wind that you're talking about, that actually brings up a really good topic out in the field, because yesterday I had gotten some Twitter messages from farmers in Iowa who shut down harvest due to high winds. And we will see that up here from time to time, because if there's a spark in the field, we are so dry, the corn and the sunflowers are dried down, we could really see fires run away from us. And so if you're out driving around and you notice that someone has tilled around the outside edge of the field, that might be a fire break. I still have a lot of farmers who have their spray trailers loaded with a few thousand gallons of water on them so that they're there in case of firefighting. I had a tweet from a farmer down about Mitchell, South Dakota. He said, let's just be careful, and if the winds kick up, please maybe consider not combining today. Their volunteer fire department has been out a lot, and they were tired. Sunflowers are probably one of our most flammable crops. The fines from that can accumulate on your combine, and if they are close to a heat source, maybe you have a hot bearing or something like that, it can ignite, cause a spark, start smoldering. And I've been witness to plenty of combine fires. Nobody likes it. We also are running a lot of dryers right now for corn, for some of the higher moisture corn. So number of reasons to be cautious. This is a time of year where we have a lot of fire hazards. And like you've said, Dean, much of the U.S. is in drought stages. We're dry here. So we've got to be cautionary about those things and just want the public to be aware too. That can happen. And those are some of the reasons why.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't take, like you said, it doesn't take much with the dryness. Now, areas of Great Lakes eastward, not too bad. The Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, towards the East Coast, and even the Southeast are they're good to go. They're not under drought conditions, but from here south and all the way to the West Coast, extremely dry. So, yeah, that's a very good point you brought up, and I'm sure most of our agriculture community knows that, but some might not. You know, I mean, it's just when it's this windy and dry.
And if you're new to a small town community and you're wondering why all of this is going on, and if you're joining a local fire department, you may think, this is not a big deal. I'll worry about the winter where we have car accidents on the highway. Well, harvest can be just as much going on when you get big winds and dry conditions. That those can move quickly through a field. Happens a lot. Absolutely.
So, well, we want to thank everybody for joining us here today on Weather and Ag in Focus. And again, a big thank you to Dr. Magan Lewis, and she'll be in town Friday. And again, she gave, if you wanted to, are those tickets free, by the way, Bridgette?
I would say you'll probably want to call ahead for those.
Okay.
I kind of got a ticket from Dr. Megan. So it's at 10 o'clock at the ballroom at the Memorial Union at NDSU's campus. Again, Dr. Magan Lewis with Bayer Crop Science. She'll be talking about igniting your spark, and she is now the cover for Seed World magazine. And again, she's the lead for automation and drone spraying for Bayer Crop Sciences globally.
That's fantastic. Well, again, thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're going to throw it over. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next. Be sure to tune in tomorrow from 1 to 2 for Weather and Ag in Focus.
970 WDAY AM and 93.1 FM. Fargo Morris.